Hey everyone, hope you've had another great week. This is Peter with Passive Income MD. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you ever feel like you're too busy to even think about starting a side hustle or a business while working full-time in medicine? Well, if so, you're definitely not alone. But here's the truth. It is possible. I've seen hundreds of physicians do it successfully. In fact, I was able to do it myself, and I don't think there's anything special about me. If I can do it, you can do it. In this episode, I'm going to break down how you can get started building a profitable business while still practicing medicine. We'll cover the mindset shifts you need, practical strategies to make time, business ideas that have actually worked for some physicians, and the communities that can support you along the way. So stay tuned. I think this one can spark some new ideas and give you the momentum that you've been looking for. So enjoy. Welcome to the Passive Income MD podcast, where we talk about creating your ideal life through multiple streams of income. If you enjoy hearing about this stuff, make sure to hit subscribe. Now let's get on with the show. Okay, so let me start out with my own personal story. I think many of you know my background is in anesthesiologist. I'm an OB anesthesiologist. And again, it was my passion. I did a fellowship in it. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. The challenge was that I would spend so much time in the hospital. Babies are being born at all times of the day and night. And so we would have to be in-house during our calls. So a good portion of my working hours was nights and weekends. And there definitely hit a time where I felt like I wasn't in control of my time. I wanted more control. I felt stuck in that hamster wheel that we talked about before, that lack of control, wondering if this was how my career was going to go until I was 60, 65 years old. And so I started exploring different avenues to create income, started investing in real estate. But another thing I started doing was thinking about how do I start different businesses? And again, it wasn't about quitting medicine. It was about building freedom, like financial freedom, time freedom, geographic freedom, creative freedom. Like entrepreneurship gave me back some options, helped me use a different part of my brain. And it's something that I always wanted to be a part of. And as I mentioned, I'm not the only one. If you've ever been part of our Leverage and Growth Summit, you know it's a summit of physician entrepreneurs who have done things in and outside of medicine, leveraging their medical degrees, doing amazing, incredible things. Our Leverage and Growth Accelerator group is a group of physicians who are just helping each other and supporting each other to grow ventures and investments. And I've seen hundreds of people in this community start their own businesses. And even in a short period of time, I've seen new products being built. I've seen 7-figure, 8-figure businesses already born out of these things. But here's the thing. When I talk to a lot of physicians and I ask them, have you ever thought about starting a business? Or why don't you pursue that business idea that you've been thinking of? One of the biggest objections I hear is, I don't have time. And I get it. I can totally relate. We're all working so hard already in our day jobs. When we leave there, the last thing we want to do is spend more mental energy. We want to save that for our families. And then we want to veg out, watch Netflix, pass out, and do it all over again. But I think many of us have to recognize and challenge that belief that we don't have time. We have the same time as everyone else out there. We have to think, is that really true? Then is there a better mindset or more meaningful thought that might actually help us to get there instead of holding us back? Here's what I did for myself. I began to think, how can I find more time to work on another business or an idea or something else meaningful? And when I started asking myself that question, naturally I started thinking, what do I want? What do I want out of life? How do I want to spend my time? Then I started thinking why? Why would I want to even do that? And once all those things became clear, I found my motivation to find extra time. And guess where it was for me? It was in between patients. When I was stuck there on call, 24-hour calls, sometimes there'd be dead time. And many of you know, you sit there on your computers or your phones, you doom scroll, you watch Netflix. Maybe you're listening to this right now. You're even in your car. You know there's dead time. You know that there's dead time in your schedule. But what do you do with it? I began thinking, I want to use up as much of that dead time as possible because it wouldn't add to my time outside of work. So when I was driving, I was listening to podcasts or making phone calls. When I was working out or running or walking, I would do the same. When I was waiting in between cases, I would write down ideas. I'd work on them. I'd whiteboard them in between cases. When I was eating at work, there's this concept of double dipping, right? It didn't cost me any extra time at home. So maybe consider doing a time audit. Where do you have breaks in your day? Where do you have time where you can actually optimize and double dip? And here's the cool thing. We now have a tool that helps us do this at a significantly higher scale. And yeah, I talked about it in my last podcast. It's AI. We have this incredible tool, this other brain that we can use to leverage ideas, to brainstorm, to work through business plans. And what would take days and months and sometimes years of iteration, we can get it done in minutes. Hey everyone, this is Peter Kim. I've got some exciting news for those of you thinking about taking your career beyond clinical medicine. PIMD Con 2025 is officially happening this September 25th through 27th in Newport Beach, California. Now, this isn't your typical conference. It's designed specifically for physicians like you, those who are exploring side hustles, thinking about starting a business, or wanting to learn how to invest in passive real estate. Now, at PIMD Con, you'll hear from top experts, investors, and entrepreneurs who've been in your shoes and are ready to share what works. Now, we built this event with you in mind, with tailored tracks focusing on real estate investing as well as entrepreneurship. So whether you're just starting out or looking to scale, there's something here for you. And if you can't join us in person, we've made it easy for you to participate virtually from anywhere. Now, if you've been thinking about creating more freedom in your life, financially or professionally or time, now this is your chance to take the next step. So head over to PIMDcon.com to grab your ticket. I hope to see you in Newport Beach. It's going to be an incredible weekend of learning, connection, and inspiration. So let's say you find time, but you're thinking, I don't even have any ideas. Well, let me talk about some of the ideas and some of the businesses that I've seen other physicians utilize or create. And I think one of the most powerful approaches to even thinking about starting a business is, what problem would I like to solve? Whether that's in medicine or outside of medicine. I mean, I've seen doctors create EHR tools, better ways to schedule patients, medical education products. I've seen physicians educate through YouTube and podcasts. I've seen people create healthcare tools. I've seen other people create other sort of businesses. And one of the businesses that I don't always refer to as a business is real estate investing. When you own your own property, it is a business that you're running. And many people are able to do that in the cracks in their day. Again, if you've ever been to any one of our conferences, whether it's Leverage Growth Summit or PIMD Con, you meet so many physicians who are doing absolutely this kind of thing. And you ask them, how are you able to do it? And they talk about finding breaks in their day, finding time, auditing their time, and finding ways to make it happen. And here's the truth. You don't have to do this alone. I know sometimes we're in our own worlds. We're in and out of the hospital surrounded by so many different people, but we feel like we're doing our own thing. People maybe don't understand what we're going through. And we're so focused on just surviving that we don't even notice everything going on around us. But let me tell you, there are communities of people. There are other people who are thinking just like you and me. They can help you go from idea to launch with support and clarity. There are people out there. There are communities that will help you grow and scale your business, help you with accountability and strategy. There are events that you can go to and be surrounded by like-minded people that will foster ideas, that will show you what's possible, allow you to connect and collaborate and grow with other people. I think that's where the magic is. As humans, we're not meant to walk this world alone. I absolutely believe that. We need people around us. And when we get the right energy around us in terms of people, amazing things happen. So find communities like that will help you take action, help you build your ideal life. If you haven't intentionally chosen your community or you haven't refreshed it, doesn't mean you have to leave everyone behind. Sometimes you got to optimize a bit. And every group that I'm part of has a different purpose. With some of my old buddies, we just have a good time. We talk about old memories and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel nostalgic for the old days. But with that group, I'm not really talking about business ideas and creativity and limiting beliefs and mindsets. But I have a community for that now. With another community, I talk about finances. With another little community, I talk about business ideas, just like we're talking about today. So here's a big takeaway. You don't need to quit medicine to become an entrepreneur. You just need to get started. You don't know how much time it'll take. You don't know how much energy it will absolutely take until you actually do it. You don't know what tools are available to you, what resources, what communities are available till you take action. So for many of you, I just want to plant this question in your mind. What's a business idea or an investing idea that you've been sitting on that you've waited to take action on? But maybe after listening to this, you're thinking about taking the first step. What is that? Share that with someone else. I promise you, when you share it with someone else, you're held accountable. It's more likely that this thing will happen. If you're looking for support, know that we have communities for this. Reach out to us. Of course, if you're able to meet us live at PIMDCon, it'd be awesome to spend time with you. So I'm going to encourage you, keep taking steps towards your ideal life. Let us know how we can support you. Have an amazing week and let's talk again soon. Enjoy the show? Let me know by dropping a review in the podcast app you're listening to us in. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe. Join thousands of physicians who are also on this journey to creating their ideal lives through multiple streams of income. Learn more at our website, passiveincomemd.com. Thanks again for allowing me to be a part of your journey. See you next time.